Look Outreach is underwritten by the generous support of Munter Enterprises. Family owned and operated since 1972, integrity is important, as our family name is on every project. Our word is our bond. Munter Enterprises. Just build it.
Welcome back, everyone. I don't think a day goes by that someone doesn't call me, send an email or something about somebody interesting in our community, coming into the community. Frequently the musicians and artists and authors. And joining me today is an author, Kim Purcell. And I got a call the other day about a book that she's written, and she'll be in Saratoga tonight at Northshire Books, called This Is Not a Love Letter. And Kim, I got the book and I just read the leaf and whatever. It sounds like a very fascinating story. So look, first, welcome. It's very nice to have you here. Very nice to have you in Saratoga. And name of the novel is This Is Not a Love Letter. Why? Why is it called that? What's behind that?
Well, in this book, the main character's boyfriend has been sending her paper airplanes every week, and they're love letters. And then suddenly he goes missing. And she doesn't know what's happened to him. He's one of the only African-American kids in her mostly white, smallish mill town. And all along throughout their relationship, she hasn't written him a letter back. She's tried, but thrown it aside. And it's a source of guilt for her that she didn't give this to him, and now he's missing. And so if she did write him a love letter now, well, that would be bad luck. So when he comes back, she'll write him one. But until then, she's going to tell him an account of what's happening, what they're doing to find him. And the police are not taking it seriously. They're not looking enough for him. And so she starts telling him this account in her head. This is what I'm doing, and narrating what's going on in a moment-to-moment tale, and then attempting communication with him. Where are you? What are you doing?
Sure, of course. A lot of threads you just mentioned, by the way. A lot in this story. Younger 17, 18-year-old couple, falling in love, and it's an interracial relationship. It's a small town. The usual complexion of a small town are people that tend to be conservative, biased, or prejudiced, as well as being liberal and open-minded. Think about the complexion of what you've set up. I've talked to a lot of authors, Kim. How does this relate to your own life?
I think that I had a very difficult childhood. And sometimes when love is withheld, or sometimes you're given love and then the punishment is followed. And so sometimes I think the childhood of a person can affect how they give love, how fully they share of their own heart. And I think it's important in life to learn that. That's such a key skill. And often our childhood and our teen time, when we're having that first passionate love where that person is everything and you just can't, it just is all encompassing, and you cannot imagine loving again or being loved in that intense way again. And so I wanted to write a story about that type of love and what happens if love is hard for you to give. And I think a lot of people are like that, and it continues not only in those teen years, but it continues throughout their lives. And it's, I think, a lesson that we all need to learn, and it's a lesson I've learned as a person. How do I give love better?
Sure, and it also seems like a timeless lesson, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kim was at Queensbury High School today, and she was talking to students, and people at that age, at 17 years old, in high school and whatever, very impressionable, right? So, and questioning their own identity and questioning those loves and things like that. You like this audience, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, why do you like it?
I I feel like when I talk to teens, I just feel this deep sense of love for them. Whenever I go to schools, it's one of my favorite things to do as an author. And I fill my heart just with love for all of them. It is such a tough time in life, and it is such a transformative time. It can set the stage for the rest of your life. So for me, sure, I could write a story for adults, but I don't think it's going to have the same impact.
Something that seems very apparent from talking to you is you really understand the notion of being inside the characters that you're writing about. Do you feel that?
Well, I think it's one of the best ways to ensure that you have a unique voice, and that what the characters notice, what they say, is something rare and surprising. I slide into my character's body before I write, and then I feel their feelings. And sometimes it's not that great for the back, because you're like, that was, but that helps me come out with these lines that actually I can't believe I wrote it afterwards, because it just came through me in the voice of that character, who is not me, but is who is picked up through a lifetime of observing and sucking in my world like a sponge, and then it just comes out naturally.
Well, and of course the byproduct of any good storytelling is that it makes you think. And just judging from talking to you and judging from what I just briefly read by getting the book a couple of hours ago, this is a book that would make you think. It's a complex story, a story that teenagers especially can relate to, and parents as well. Kim is going to be at Northshire Books tonight, probably earlier than you might see this, so please go back and tell your friends to look at the interview online. The book will be at Northshire Book. Hyperion is the publisher. It's called This Is Not a Love Letter. It was very nice talking to you. Thank you for taking the time to come in here and talk to us.
Thank you.
You're right. When you get to live inside the character, magic happens. It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
I can tell you really feel that. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you.
You're welcome. To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.